Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my July update of my 5-pan rolling style project pan. Super excited to be filming this video for you all today because we have it empty, so really excited to talk that through with you. Before we jump in, I do want to say that my usage is rather low for this month's update, and that's because I'm filming this like about 2 weeks early, which is significant when it comes to project panning and your monthly updates because it's basically half the month. But just due to timing and us coming back from a trip and then going on another trip, I just wanted to get this filmed because otherwise I was going to be even further behind had I waited until we got home. So all that to say, numbers are low, but we still have hit an empty, so I felt like it was okay to film this video, and then I think numbers will be back up to normal ranges next month. So progress was still made across the board, so I think it's okay to be giving you this update today, but I just wanted to clarify that because when you're gonna see like last month's numbers versus this month's, you're gonna be like, what happened? But that's why, because timing's a little bit wonky. I think I mentioned this in my last video, but we are heading to 2 weddings. So the first weddings for our boys to go to, we are going to New York and then going to Puerto Rico. So just very busy because we just got back from another trip. I'm like, work's crazy. I'm trying to I was like getting us unpacked and now we're getting repacked. It's like a whole thing. And like, this is like obviously first world problems. I'm so like happy to be traveling with my family and doing all this fun stuff together. So I'm certainly not complaining, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it is definitely a very busy season of life right now. That being said, I'm still finding time to do things that I love, and this morning my husband had to go into work super early, and so I woke up early, and since I couldn't go to the gym or go on a run outside because he went into work really early, I just decided to take the time to just do a little bit of walking at home around here, and then like in the house. And then I made a sourdough pumpkin loaf. I read the book that I'm reading, which is The Correspondent. I started that a day and a half ago and I'm almost done. It's like a quick read, but it's also so good. So let me know if you read that one in the comments below or if it's on your list to read because I'm really, really enjoying it. I got ready and now I'm filming this video and then I'm gonna get my boys up and get them ready. My mom's coming over today to watch them while I head out to work. So yeah, all things are good. Work's going well, but it's busy. We had another busy day of meetings. I'm running a couple meetings today with like a larger group of people. So that'll be interesting. Hopefully all of that goes well. But yeah, just got a lot on my plate right now. But I do want to run through my update for my project pan because I'm super excited. So let's actually start with the empty, which is my LYS powder. As you had seen, there was very little left in here, and I used this 11 times to get the empty, and I followed actually one of your suggestions, which is something that I wasn't planning on doing but ended up doing because it just made sense at this point. So I was planning on just using the powder where it was because it was around the outside of this, but it was getting harder and harder to get my brush in, and then I was thinking about repressing, but then really like it felt kind of silly to repress such little powder, so I ended up just grinding it up really small into like a fine powder and using it that way, which wasn't like my ideal state, but made the most sense for the little bit of powder that was left in here. And so that is how I ended up finishing up, and I got the 11 uses on it. And yeah, now this one is all done, so super excited that I was able to finish this product up. I did really enjoy this powder. I thought it set my face really nicely, which is my preference. As you know, I prefer a more natural face than a glowy one, and so I love a setting powder. That being said, I feel like I actually used this up rather quickly, which is fine because as a panner, I don't mind that necessarily, but there are definitely other products that I feel like in the pressed powder arena that last a little bit longer. I was actually surprised when I hit pan on this and then how quickly it moved. I'd hit pan on it in my Shop My Stash project pan and then was like almost done with it, and I decided to roll it into this project to make sure I got the usage on it to get it done. So just a little bit of a surprise. This wasn't in my planning to pan or anything like that, and it's just something that I decided made sense to roll in. So here we are, really happy with the empty on that, and yeah. So I'm gonna roll something in to replace that, but we'll do that at the end of this video. I do wanna go through the rest of the updates. Next is my Benefit Benetint, and I use this one 9 times. just as a blush. I was using it on my lips a bit for a while, like the first few months that this was in the project, but I was noticing that it always kind of like, not transferred, but like moved like into the center of my lips instead of like just drying around my whole lip. I don't know. Does anyone else have that problem when they put this on their lips? It just felt like it didn't look right. Like it almost looked like I was always eating like a lollipop or something instead of being like a full lip stain. And so I have not been wearing it on my lips. I need to like go back and experiment with that, but I've been pretty much strictly wearing this as a blush and I absolutely love it. I can wear it on its own like I'm wearing today. I can wear it layered under another powder. It's just so versatile, and I've raved about this again and again and again, and I've been using it for this whole year pretty much exclusively as my blush unless I'm doing some sort of layering, and I still love it. So I don't know, like I'm very curious as like when this is finished if I will feel like I want to repurchase. And as you all know, if you watch my videos, I don't really repurchase makeup because I'm always wanting to try something new and it takes so long to finish up a product that it really doesn't make sense for me to repurchase. But this might be something that I go back and get again because it is so good. Next is my Urban Decay highlight. I also use this one 9 times. This one is very much a slow and steady progress, but definitely feel like the pan size gets a little bit larger every time. I feel like I'm using more product. Like today I have it on my shoulders, so I'm definitely finding ways, especially in the summertime, to use a little bit more. One of you suggested mixing this with a body lotion and applying it that way. I have not done that yet, but definitely something I would consider doing, I think. I don't typically stray from the kind of standard ways you use makeup, but I am open to experimenting here and there. So I'll see if I end up doing that. But in the meantime, I'm definitely gonna be using it on my collarbones and my shoulders. And we're going on a trip, like I mentioned, I got weddings coming up, so I'm definitely gonna be using it for all of those things. And yeah, it's still performing really well. I really like how subtle it is. It's just been a great product to use. And although it's taken me a lot longer to make progress on this than I had hoped, I'm still really happy with the progress that I'm making. This is a full-size highlight, so those are just in general hard to pan. So it's just a good news story there no matter what. All right, next is my Fenty gloss. So I used this one 10 times. Last month I wanted to hit 30 uses, which I did. And obviously with the shortened month, I did not hit 30 uses again. But I will say a really fun progress update is I'm having trouble actually getting the gloss out of here onto the doe foot, which means that it might be time to pull the stopper. And then once you pull the stopper, I feel like you're getting very, very close to finishing the product. And at some point, once I pull the stopper, I'm gonna still need to go in there with a spatula and start using that. So I feel like we're not too far from like stopper out, spatula in phase. And at that point, then you're just really clearing out what's along the walls of the product. So I'm feeling really, really optimistic about this one. I think I'm gonna leave the stopper in for a little bit longer. I'll take this on my trip with the stopper in, but when we get home, I'm going to probably take it out, especially if I'm using it while we're away. And we'll see what progress we can make on this one. But this, I feel like, is getting much closer to an empty than I had originally thought, just with this recent development of not being able to see a bunch of product on the doe foot when I pull it out and kind of needing to scrape the sides a bit, which is what I've been doing. Good news on this one, really excited about that progress update. And then lastly, we have my Clinique Black Honey lipstick. I've been trying more and more to use this on a regular basis. I don't have a ton of product left in here. And then when I roll it all the way down, you can see pretty far that I've made some good progress on this one. So I'm trying to use this as my like main lip product. Like we went to a concert this past weekend and I threw it in my bag versus any other lipstick and reapplied it a couple times when we were out. So excited that I have kind of been starting to use it like that. I think that'll be the lipstick that I take on vacation with us. That'll be the one that I put on and hopefully I'll reapply like anytime we're going out or at these weddings. So that is my goal with that one. And I am very excited just in general about the progress that I made. I don't know if I mentioned, but I used this one 8 times. So really excited now that I'll have a full month until my next update to be able to give you guys much better numbers next month. But in general though, I still feel like everything was moving really well, even with this kind of compressed timeline. So let's go ahead and pick a new product to roll in. If you guys don't know, at the end of last year, I filmed a video on my planning to pan list, which is basically a list of products that I wanted to either finish, of course, or at the very least roll into a project pan this year. And I've been working from that list anytime I finish up a product in my project pan, other than pulling in this product because that wasn't on the list, but it just made sense to pull in. And reflecting on that list and reflecting on the products in my collection, I think it's time to pull back in my Marc Jacobs bronzer. If you all have been watching my videos, you know that I worked on this bronzer every single time that I wore makeup last year. And it was part of my project pan, and then it recently, or semi-recently, kind of started to crumble, and so I can't really show you that well what it's looking like. I still have not repressed it. I keep putting it off. I need to do that before I start actually using it. So it is time to start focusing on this again. I really wanted to finish this last year. That did not happen, obviously. I also heard that this is like being sold again. So curious if the formula is the same. If it is, I love this product. It really did really well for me last year. Plus the amount of product you get is absolutely insane. Like I used it every time I wore makeup for a year, and I still have a ton of product, and I started last year with pan in it. So that gives you any sense of like how much product is actually in here. I'm going to repress this and move this back in. That being said, I am not going to do that until we get back from vacation, because it will absolutely shatter, crumble all the bad things in my bag when we are traveling. So this is something I will not be traveling with, but I will make sure to repress it, and then I'll start using it when we get back. So really excited to be rolling that one back in. It's been long enough that I've taken my break from it, and I think it's time to start trying on it again. Excited to see what it looks like once I repress it. And yeah, that's where we're at. So I'm really happy to be giving you all this update. I hope you enjoyed getting to see where we are at. And we are back on the Marc Jacobs bronzer grind, and hopefully you all enjoyed this video. Leave in the comments below what's going on in your lives, what's going on in your panning, any updates. I want to hear from you. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope all of you are doing well and staying safe, and I will talk to you on my next one. Bye.